Good morning, brothers and sisters. We're here this evening with Come Down with Broken Heart podcast. I have Silas Lathrop with me this morning. I met Silas. It's a funny story. This is how God works in our lives. Months ago, his mother had called me and wanted me to talk to Silas, and I don't think Silas was very encouraged about that, so he had nothing to do with it. So I would say 2 weeks ago after my podcast, I was leaving here, the day of my podcast. We recorded. I left here and I went to the stoplight at Carl Clinic on Vermillion, and I stopped at the stoplight and looked over, and I seen a young man sitting at the bus stop. And sitting at the red light, I looked up, and the light turned green, and I was still sitting there. And it's funny, you know, I just felt the feeling. I looked over, and I had asked him, I said, "Hey, you want to ride?" So Silas got in my van, and we started a relationship that day. I introduced myself. He needed a ride back to Tilton. Silas is 2 months sober from heroin addiction, and from that day on, I did know that Tracy was his mother, but the period of the 2 weeks that we've been together up to this date, Silas has been with me. He helps me on my job sites. He comes to church here at the Vineyard on Saturday night and Sunday. The men's group when we can make it. We've had a lot of things going on here, but he's started a new life with us here at the Vineyard. You know, in our addiction, I think all addicts were into instant gratification, and today I'm 11 months sober today, and it's funny.
Congratulations.
The day I started my podcast, I was celebrating, I think, 4 or 5 months sober that day. It was on a Monday. Well, we changed it on a Thursday as Phil Hunt has his podcast on Monday night. And so today is Thursday, and I'm 11 months sober today. So I'm just blessed by God to have that kind of sobriety in my life. It's all His glory. If it wasn't for Him in my life, I would not be here sitting with you talking today and sharing. Silas, what started you on your road to
Destruction.
Well, how'd you get where you're at in your addiction?
It just started out with use on the weekends, and then it just led to doing it on the weekdays, and then after a while, and I did quit for a little while, but then I ended up getting real deep into it, and then I come to a point where I couldn't manage it no more, and ended up getting real bad where I couldn't even stand in bed and look at myself in the mirror. And I was like, you know what? I ended up catching a bus back home to here to Illinois from North Carolina.
And how long ago was that?
It was in March.
So that's April, May, June. So you was here about a month and a half. And that's when you got back there. That's when your mama says, "Hey, get old Scott Covington." And you was like, "No, I'm gonna do this on my own and stuff," you know. So when you come back here, you was just getting out of your addiction then?
Yeah, I was just getting out of my addiction then. Because I was doing it for at least 4 years. I could manage it for at least 4 years, and actually the one day I was sober and I was riding down the road. I ended up getting run off the road.
Yeah.
Man, here we are.
Yeah. So since how long you been sober now?
Since towards the end of March, so it's been about 2 months, close to.
Yeah, well, June, so almost 3 months then, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
So we, in our addiction, we know that, do you think you can do this by yourself? You think that you got it covered? For a while you thought that?
Well, yeah, for a while. But now, I'm going to find it's always helped them, ask others for help, and it actually helps out a lot.
I know that with me and my addiction, it's separated myself from society. It kept myself away from people. It kept me, because I really don't want them to find me out.
Right.
So you was in your addiction for 4 years, and then just one day, was it you were shooting up heroin or?
Yeah, I was doing that probably about the last 6 months that I was doing it.
Oh, so it was
Yeah.
snorting heroin and stuff?
Yeah, it wasn't using any needles or nothing like that.
So how did you have when you stopped, what'd that look like for you?
I was real bad off. Hot and cold sweats, chills, my bones hurt. It's like I couldn't find no motivation to get up and do anything.
You did that on your own? You didn't go to rehab or nothing like that?
Mm-mm. Well, I took Tylenol, took hot baths. That helps with the withdrawals.
And you was when you left your addiction, when you came to Illinois, then you got sober here with your mom.
Yeah.
And your mom's a recovering addict too, huh?
No, she.
Oh no.
No, huh? She just goes to the Celebrate Recovery. Just my ex-wife. She goes up there.
So his mother goes to Celebrate Recovery Second Church, and we speak about Second Church. We speak about always having some kind of support system. I know that the Go Church, again, Phil Hunt and them guys up there at Go Church, they're wonderful guys. They just got one group of people up there that love and care for the community and care for people. Wendy Lambert, I can't speak enough about her. In Step Recovery, they just certainly are amazing people there. She's going night and day. She just don't have no time. I've asked her on to come here. She's going to come here when she finds some time. But she's doing great works with people in addiction today at Step Recovery, and they're 7 days a week. They have a sober house. We have Rosecrans here in town that you can go and get inpatient or outpatient treatment there. Also, we have a Grace Community Church on Friday night. These people, I just can't say enough. It's a support system that I think you need to have to manage your addiction. As people in addiction, I know that we talked about instant gratification and things. We spoke about that even at work. I have an anger issue, and we speak about that things, red flag. If I start getting angry, and I want stuff happen right now, you get caught up in that, and you find yourself. I find myself. It gets you in a dangerous position to be upset and throw your hands up, and then you find yourself right smack dab back in your addiction. Have you found yourself when you're by yourself and doing this alone before we met each other, you started coming to church here, did you have struggles?
Yeah, it was definitely.
What that looked like being by yourself and trying to do it alone?
Well, just, whenever you're sitting around the house and there ain't nothing else to do, you're sitting there like, maybe I can find something here. It just got monotonous and tiring, and I finally just gave up and cleaned the house.
So if you found yourself where you moved from, where you came from, was North Carolina?
Yeah, North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Yeah.
It had been more dangerous because right there you knew immediately where to go to get drugs.
I had about 10 people I can call.
So right here, since you've moved up away from that, you got away from the people, places, and things that we have to get away from. So you sort of took yourself away from the people, places, things there. So by doing it by yourself, you still put yourself in a dangerous position, because if you know somebody, would you have called somebody here in them times? Would you have made a phone call at the time you?
I tried, and luckily they didn't answer.
So you did try. So see, this is what we talk about in recovery. You have to have a support group. You have to have somebody next to you. You can't. You just. It's not that we don't care or love other people that we leave. That's an addiction, but that we got to secure a place for us and a safe circle. We have to learn how to do boundaries.
If you are looking for strength and support on your way to a life worth living, we've got your week covered. Check out all of these opportunities that are available here in Vermilion County. On Monday, at the Go Church, led by Phil Hunt, it will be on Facebook Live. It starts at 6 p.m. goes till 7 p.m. On Tuesday at Second Church, the Celebrate Recovery program starts at 6 p.m. and goes to 7:45. Dinner is offered also. On Thursday, the podcast, Come Now the Brokenhearted, will be live, led by Scott Covington. The offer is extended to everyone. Let's talk. To set up an appointment, simply call 217-499-1908. On Friday at Grace Church, the recovery program, Rescue Us, starts at 6 p.m. Dinner is included. And all throughout the week, the Step Recovery Center at 110.5 Woodbury Street is hosting a 12-step recovery program for NA and AA. Call for more information 217-597-9653 and ask for Wendy.
Because boundaries, there was never no boundaries for me. I know when you're in your addiction, you did what you wanted, you said what you wanted, you went when you wanted, whenever you wanted to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody was going to stop you from doing that.
No. If I wanted it, I'd go out and get it.
Yeah. I understand that, I know keeping busy each day, and Simon's been a great help to me working. I work by myself, and he's come in my life for a reason. I know God put him in my life, and the day that I dropped him off at the house before he got out of the car, I said, "Hey, Silas, how about coming to church with me?" And he responded, "Yeah." And he's been coming to church here on Saturday nights and Sundays ever since then. It's funny that I spoke with Silas's mother yesterday. We spoke after he got out of the car, and she was out there talking to me. We're going to help his mom do some work on her house to get some things done for her. She said that she tried to get Silas to call me, to get a hold of me, to watch some podcasts. And see, in our addiction, we think we can do it on our own. But then things happen, God just moved in both of our lives by putting him in my life and me in his. It's not a one-way street. It's not because I got more sobriety than him or nothing. It's that we look at our sobriety, that we cherish that. I know I cherish my sobriety. I'm more happy than I've ever been in my life. I know that today when you wake up, do you have a different outlook on the days when you wake up and you're sober, and do you get better each day?
Yeah, it's getting better every day, actually. The more body in motion stays in motion, and the more I work, the stronger I get. And from the accident that I had, that was what really messed me up, because I fought to stay away from everybody, and I was still in pain every day, but there wasn't nothing I could do about it. I knew I would feel better the next day. And
it's always easier to give up and say, hey, and go back to what you're doing. But
Exactly.
And so today, I'd say you said March, April, May, June, so almost 3 months sober. Your head's cleared up a lot more. What it looked like? I mean, the first week?
of not actually wanting to go get it.
Yeah.
Well, it felt good not having to be in withdrawals and being sick and not having it and chasing it, wasting all my money, and the pain was consistent, but I stuck with it, and I just kept exercising. I did exercises the therapist told me to do, and that helped me out a lot. And then working with you, that helps, and then now I can move furniture again around the house and everything else. So prior to that, I couldn't pick it up.
Yeah, I don't know about Silencer, but I know that I don't think about Scott Covington every day. I don't think about, oh, woe is me, poor me. I've had a great week. I had my son and his family come back up. God bless my daughter-in-law, Ashley. She's a wonderful lady. Her grandmother passed this past weekend. We had a visitation, so they came back home, and I got to spend some time with them. I cherish them as a family. My relationship with my child, man, I'm blessed to have that. I just don't know how he stood and weathered watching his dad do what he did, but I'm blessed to have him back. We're going to have lunch today before they go back to Florida. So we all have trials in our life. We all have things happen in our lives that make us have a choice at that moment. What do we do in a critical need and time of of something bad coming in our path, death happening, or do we just throw our hands up? Do we give up, or do we stay strong and know that we have a chance at life? We have a chance at a new beginning today. No matter who you are, where you're sitting at, what you're doing. I hope this reaches the one that what this is for, to reach out to people, let them know that you don't have to stay in your addiction. You don't have to stay in your suffering. You don't have to keep punishing yourself. So you got to learn how to forgive yourself. And was that a big thing? Forgiveness? How that looked like? Did you?
It took a long time. Yeah, because the reason why it all began, I basically had a death wish, and I didn't care, and I figured everybody else was gone. I wasn't expecting to be here much longer, but at the end of it, yeah, I had to get better for myself. And
it's hard to forgive yourself.
It's hard to forgive myself, yeah.
So
it took until about a couple months ago, from 2018 until then.
So having the God in your life and church in your life and getting to know everybody here at church and stuff is, I mean, you find and getting into the Word of God, that helps you with your sobriety?
Yeah, it does.
I think
meeting people and exercising and just going back and trying to get back to your regular life is the hardest thing, but the only thing you can do is just find people to help you get through that and get out there and start talking to people about it.
I think Silas said something, he said regular life. Us as addicts, I think we soon forget what a regular life looks like. That means we go to bed at a decent hour. We take care of ourselves during the day. We get up and we go to work. If we don't do that, we reach out and help other people. We came up here to the church yesterday to talk to Jay Sorrell. God bless him. We love him to death here. We're working on our kitchen here. Blessed to do that. We're waiting. We have another great man, Bobby Key. He's doing sanding our drywall. Thanks, Bobby. We appreciate you for that, to get this room ready. And then we're going to start painting. But our blessed man, Chuck Davis, his name keeps popping up in this. He's a great man, just a wonderful man. Just love him to death. So me, Jay, and Silas, we went up yesterday, and this is what it looks like in sobriety. It's not about you. So we went up to Chuck's house, and he had a bunch of bags of mulch, and Chuck, he didn't ask for them to do it. So Jay said, hey, let's go up and put all this mulch down for him. So we went up, and it took us about 35 minutes, and we all just jumped out of the truck. We started tearing bags of mulch open, and we started giving to somebody we love. That there, giving without something in return, that is very meaningful for me. I know it is, that it feels good to give to others. He didn't ask us, he could have done it, and he was gracious. And, he said it'd probably take him 3 to 4 hours, and we just popped it off. We had 3 guys, 30 bags, 10 bags apiece, but we just had it done, and it was great to spend the time with these. Yep. And the relationship between me and Jay and Silas, that grew, and it made a healthier, stronger relationship with us and Chuck Davis. Not that we don't have one in the first place, but I know that we have to stay out of self. Once we start thinking poor me, or things just didn't go the way I wanted, and you start being just having a bad attitude, and you start getting angry, and you start once you start seeing them red flags pop up, anger, poor me, nobody cares. Well, listen, when you start feeling that, and you're in your sobriety, you need to reach out. That's what you have each other for. I can talk to Silas. I talk to Silas about my anger. I still talk to. He's young in recovery. I'm young in recovery. There's people younger and older than us, and some people that's not even addiction that maybe don't understand, but they understand that feeling sorry for yourself and staying feeling sorry, it's not an answer. It's gonna drive you in a place that it's going to be hard to recover from.
You don't really want to be in that place, because once you hit rock bottom and you ain't got nowhere to go, especially if you ain't got nobody else to call on or help you, you're really in a bad spot. And luckily for me, I had family up here, so
Yeah,
I got back up
and
here.
all you have is, I mean, now you got a church family,
Yep.
me and you, we're building a friendship and a work relationship, and,
Oh, yeah.
and you know, when things are happening, man, before you come in my life, the day was at the house, and you really didn't have no friends or nobody to hang around with, did you?
Nah, I chose to stay away from everybody.
But you got things to do today, don't you?
Yeah, I was gonna go fishing, but it was okay though. Still gonna go fishing probably after, and see how that goes too. I gotta cut a few trees and.
You know, let's talk about that a little bit. Great person, Walt Parsons, God bless you, thank you, Walt. He comes and he helps us record this to post to you, to reach out to you. He said we'd be here this morning here to record for tonight, and I had texted Silas yesterday. He was supposed to go fishing, and this is what it looks like to not stay in self, to think about other people, and to think about the needs of others, and what this means to his sobriety, what this means to you and everybody else to be here. Instead of going fishing, and he looked forward to it, he's here. He's here with you and me, and to reach out with you guys. I'm thankful for you, and I think that looks a little bit different to him today, that knowing that not being selfish, we can be selfish in our sobriety, or we don't. When we get selfish in our sobriety, that's a red flag. That's a dangerous place to be. You know, if we're not working on our sobriety, we're working on our relapse. I believe that each and every day. It's not that days are great. Mostly they are. They're bright, sunshiny days, but there's still dark clouds that come over us. There's still other family members have problems that we need to reach out and be with them. That I couldn't in my addiction. How would I know they'd have problems? Because I was so sorry, so pitiful in mine, and I kept my eyes on me and felt sorry for myself. And today, I don't even look at my life. My life happens because I move for others. I want to do here. I want to be here for you. I want to work with Silas. I want to be here with my church. There's so much going on. I don't know how Jay Sorrell, he can't keep up with that, man. It's hard to keep up with him, but it gives me a focus. It keeps my mind straight. It keeps me on my narrow path. That I know that we have to be on that narrow path, because I tell you, if we stray from it, the evil one, he'll reach out, grab you, and you'll find yourself upside down in a ditch in a second. And that's going to be hard to recover from. But if something happens to you like that, you know, don't think that if you slip up one day that all is lost. It's not. It's just one slip up. Call a friend, call a community, reach out to one of us. You know, you can start again today, a fresh start, a new beginning. Just because we have a bad day and we fail that day, let's learn from that when we wake up the next day. Let's remember that we still have a chance. All is not lost. You know, you've made a mistake. It's just a mistake. We have to learn. That's our learning. That's our ladder to success. If we didn't have mistakes in our life, we wouldn't have the steps and rungs of growth. We need to have growth in our life. I know I fail sometimes by just thinking about life and thinking. Once I start thinking about myself, it's not a good thing. You know, I try to stay focused on God. I stay focused on my church, my men's group. These guys, man, I tell you, it's a support system that second to none. I encourage you to come and see us here in the Vineyard, on Saturday night, 6:30. I know, matter of fact, first week Silas came with me. The next week, his mom, he brought his mom on Saturday night with us, and you guys enjoyed that? Your mom enjoyed that?
Most definitely.
And we had dinner, we had pizza, and we had salad. So, just being around people, godly men and women, just positive people in your life makes great changes in your life. It gives you opportunities. It keeps focus off of self. I think focus on self that's dangerous, you know. We have to stay out of self and stuff like that. So if you had something to say to somebody, Silas, to give an encouraging word, what would you be towards encouraging somebody young in sobriety?
That's young in sobriety. Well, anybody can quit. I've been through the worst of it. Whenever I first started, I had an addiction. It didn't start with an addiction first. First, it started with this, and then I had a death wish. But what I would tell somebody is, don't try to do it alone. Ask for help, and reach out to the community and see what you can do about getting yourself clean and getting back into just doing your normal thing. What did you do before you had an addiction? What kind of work did you do? Something to keep you occupied. And if you're feeling bad and wanting to relapse, get a hold of somebody. Talk to them. Let them know what's going on and help you through it.
Well, I appreciate everybody being here tonight with us. I thank Silas for being here today to talk to you about his new life here in sobriety. I thank each and every one of you. And don't forget, you're loved, you're needed, and you matter. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Thank you.